So in our boys and girls, in our mini lesson, we learn how to use the distributive property to find the area of our rectangle. So we are going to continue to use the distributive property to find the area. Okay, so this is our problem. Who remember what the distributive property does? Who remember what the distributive property does? Okay. Tanya?
It helps us find our area to, if it's 12 times 8, you break out the 8 and then, the 12 and you break it into two smaller parts.
Two smaller numbers. So the distributive property allows us to decompose a bigger factor into two smaller numbers. Why are we, when we decompose the bigger number into two smaller numbers, how does it help us? How does it help us, Anthony?
Because the 12 is gonna be a bigger number, so you have to decompose it, and it's gonna be two smaller numbers, so then it's gonna be easier to
Multiply. Very good. So we all, in previous lesson, we learned that the distributive property help us to decompose a bigger factor into two smaller numbers to make multiplication much easier. Now today we are going to use the distributive property to help us. Okay, now I need you to read this problem. This is the problem we are going to solve. Please read the problem.
A rectangle has a length of 12 units and a width of 8 units. Use the distributive property to find the area.
Okay, so I'm going to, so that's what we are going to do today, just like what we did in our mini lesson. So we are going to hold our grid paper like a window. So let's go back to our problem. What is the length of the rectangle?
It's 12 units.
12 units. So first thing we are going to draw the length is 12 units, so we are going to count 12 units on our grid paper, okay? So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's the 12 units. Okay, but let us change the width to 6 units.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
12 units. Okay, now what is the side? What is the width? What is the width? 6 units. So we are going to 6 units. Let's count 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if we are not sure, we can recount. Let's count. 1, everybody, let's count our units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's count the length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so if this side has 6 units, then this side is going to have how many units? 6 units.
6 units.
So this is my 6 units. 6. It's okay, it doesn't matter. So, and this side has 12 units, so this side is going to have 12 units. So there goes our rectangle. Okay, so let us write our measurements. So 12 units. And our side length is 6 units. Okay. Now, how are we going to decompose? How are we going to use the distributive property to find the area? Kenya?
Break the 12 and 10 plus 2.
Okay, so we are going to decompose the 12. Why are we decomposing the 12? Because it is the
Bigger number.
because it's the bigger factor. It's the bigger
Factor.
so it's the bigger factor. So how are we? Tell me the easiest way. We know we can decompose it in many ways, but the easiest ways to work with would be, Anthony?
10 plus 2.
10 plus
2.
10 plus 2. Okay, so let us count our 10 units. 10 plus 2. So we are going to decompose this number into 10 plus 2. So on our big rectangle, we are going to decompose this big rectangle into 10 plus 2. So let's count our 10 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to draw our line right there, because to decompose, break it into 2 smaller rectangles, and we're going to write our measurements here. So this now becomes 10 units, and over here becomes what? 2 units. Okay, so what we are going to do now, we are going to, everybody finish? Let's give everyone a chance. Very good. Good job, guys. Good job. Now, are we finished yet, boys and girls? Did we find the area of our rectangles yet? No. So now we are going to, who can tell me what is the next thing we're going to do? Because just like what we did in our mini lesson, we are going to do what?
We're going to multiply 10 plus 6.
10.
6 times 10. And then we're going to do 6 times 2.
Yes, but first let us draw our 2 rectangles. Remember, we decomposed the big rectangle into 2 smaller rectangles. So at the bottom of our paper, we are going to draw our 2 smaller rectangles with the correct measurement now. So this rectangle this one has a length of 10 units. So let's make our 10 units. So our 10, make sure you have good, and it has a side length of 6 units. 1, 2, 6. Okay, so make sure our measurement is correct. So this rectangle now measures 10, has 10 units, and the side length is 6 units. Okay, everyone has that? Okay, let's wait on our friends. Okay, so now we are going to, so are we finished yet? Because we still have to draw our next rectangle, our smaller rectangle. So this rectangle has a measurement of how many units? What's the side length? 2 units by 6. So here we're gonna have 2 units. So let's, very good. Please label your rectangle. I love it. Boys and girls, you're doing great. Please label your rectangle. Okay, so are we finished yet? No, because all we did, we decomposed our big rectangle into 2 smaller rectangles. Now we are going to, what are we going to do next?
We 10 times 6.
Okay, she said we are going to multiply 10 times 6. Or 6 times 10. Let's say 6 times 10 plus what?
plus 6 times 2.
6 times 2. 6 times 2. Let us wait and Alexis. No, are we finished yet?
No.
What else we have to do?
We have to multiply.
No, we have to multiply. We have to multiply because remember the distributive property allows us to break one big rectangle into two smaller rectangles with the smaller units that are easier to work with. Okay, so now we are going to multiply. So 6 times 10 equals what? 60. And 6 times 2 equals what?
12.
So now we are going to have and multiply. Now we are going to, what is our next step?
We have to add
60 plus 12 equals 72. And area is measured in what? What is area measured in?
square units.
Square
Units.
area is measured in square units. So what is the area of our rectangle? What is the area?
72 square units.
72 square units. So boys and girls, in this lesson, what did we learn in this lesson? Raise your hands. What did we learn in this lesson? Okay, Anthony, start with Anthony.
How to decompose a bigger square into 2 squares?
How to decompose a bigger rectangle into two
Smaller rectangles
to make
to make
finding the area much easier. Okay? Is that what we learned? Anybody else has? Alexis?
how to multiply and distribute it properly using the area.
How to use the area model to find how to use the distributive property to find the area of our rectangle.
You can use the distributive property with the rectangle if we don't know how to multiply with the bigger number.
Very good, very good. Kenya?
We have to use the distributive property to find our answer for the area
When we multiply, okay?
If you don't know the multiplication, you can use the distributive property and use it for the bigger number.
Okay, she said that if you do, and that is so true. That's what we really learn. We learn that if you do not know your multiplication facts, because 12 is a big number, and a lot of us do not know our 12 times table. So if we do not know our multiplication facts, we could use the distributive property as a strategy to help us solve our multiplication problem. Okay? Alright, so boys and girls, do you think if we had used, because many of you during our mini lesson, some people told me different ways in which we could decompose the 12. Do you think if we had decomposed the 12 into 2 other numbers, do you think we would get the same result?
Yes.
Why would we get the same result? For example, if we had decomposed the 12 into 6 plus 6, do you think we would get the same result?
Yes.
Why would we get the same result, Alexis?
Because 6 plus 6 equals 12.
Thank you very much. So, thank you so much, boys and girls. You did such a good job.